Welcome to this edition of Talking Shipa. I am Jim Schultz, developer advocate at Shipa, and with me again today is Shipa founder and CEO Bruno Andrade. Hello, Bruno.
Hey, Jim.
The topic for the video today is the developer portal within Shipa. One of the biggest challenges with applications deployed in Kubernetes is simply making sense of all the microservices running in the cluster. It generally does not look or feel like an application in the traditional sense. Shipa helps with this by providing a developer-centric workflow and portal to manage and operate all of your Kubernetes applications that are in deployment. So Bruno, if you don't mind, can you take some time and show us, in terms of managing your application post-deployment using Shipa, how that would look using the developer portal?
Yeah, of course, Jim. So for this example and what we're going through, we assume you already have a Shipa cluster installed and you already have applications being deployed through Shipa to your Kubernetes clusters. If you don't have Shipa installed yet, there are videos here available and documentation to guide you through step-by-step on how to do that. But what you have in front of you is basically Shipa's dashboard, right? Which is what you get after your after Shipa is installed. And when you log in this case, again, we're assuming that you are already deploying applications, you have frameworks defined, and you have clusters bound to these frameworks, and your developers are deploying their applications through Shipa, right? Either they're from their CI pipeline or CLI, or even from a Shipa dashboard. Now, one of the common things that we hear a lot is that, great, I can get my applications deployed on Kubernetes, I can work my way through it, but once my application is deployed, my development team doesn't really have a good grasp on how to support the applications because Kubernetes is very object-centric rather than application, right? So we see a lot of organizations trying to build a developer portal where they can see these artifacts and services as applications. And that's where Shipa comes in, to help the DevOps team deliver that developer platform or developer portal to their development teams. So when we log in here, this is the Shipa dashboard. This is what your developers, they can get a good sense of, kind of the infrastructure that is available to them, the amount of frameworks they have available to deploy their applications through, how many apps are deployed, and even the graphic, kind of the geographic distribution of their applications, the deployments that have happened in the last little while, security scans, and others that the frameworks assigned to us as developers are enforcing on our applications. When we go into applications, this is where it really makes sense as a developer portal for us, right? So these are services that we deployed using Shipa. These were deployed previously using our CI pipeline, using the frameworks that our DevOps team gave us, and we can see the different services in here. If we go into one of these services, for example, I can directly see here information related to this service or application deployed. I'm seeing things such as who is the user and team that is the owner of that service. And this is a common thing that or complaint that we see from DevOps and platform engineering teams, who owns what. So here you can clearly see that definition. You can see the CPU and memory or plan that is attached, that the framework actually attached to the app, so you can see the limits. You can see environment variables, config maps, and others. And from here onwards, everything you're going to see on a workflow format. So you can see transactions that are happening. This is a simple app, so there are no transactions going through right now, but as transactions they start going through, your developers can quickly understand the performance of their application, such as status codes, requests per second, response time, and others. So they can quickly understand the performance. They can see the resources that are being consumed by their applications. They can see things such as distribution in case you're providing your development team with a multi-regional clusters. They can see exactly where the units or containers of their applications are actually distributed. You can see lifecycle. So you can see everything that happens to your application all the way from when these applications were created to applications scaled up or down, new deployments happen. And you can see the log associated with each of these actions, as well as a rollback capability that your developers can have directly from here. And these rollbacks are based on the Git operation that happened before. You can see security scans that happen and reports that happen pre-deployment and post-deployment as well. One of the other challenges as well is the different teams that you might have in your organization doing development today. They might use different incident management tools. So directly from here, they can plug in their different incident management tools into their application. So when there is some activity happening with their application, they can quickly see it on Slack, PagerDuty, Ops, Genie, and so on. And last but not least, the network policies, right? So who can access my service, how, which port, and so on. That is easily consumable by developers as well as DevOps teams. Not only that, but one of the things that they can see as well as part of the developer portal is an application dependency, right? Because one of the things you see a lot is the question on, okay, I deploy my application. So it becomes a bunch of living objects in my cluster. So how do I make sense of these all? So here, Shipa shows all the objects that are directly related to your applications, the status, and the object details. So if there is anything wrong, you can quickly identify and you can quickly support your application. And aside from that, you can also see the network policies that are assigned to your service on a graphical format. So in this case, I can see that my booking service that I deployed is actually connecting to my API gateway through port 3000 on TCP. And on egress, I can see that my booking service is actually sending data to this external IP, and it's also sending data to my payment service. So now with that, your developers, they have a developer portal. They can go way beyond that, such as defining new CNAMEs with automated certificate generation, environment variables, config maps. You can move application between frameworks. So this gives developers a very good sense of applications that are deployed and how to support my applications post-deployment. Does that make sense, Jim?
It does, and thank you very much, Bruno, for walking through all that. And I hope this helps all our viewers better understand how Shipa can help them to manage their Kubernetes apps, especially post-deployment, using the developer portal. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next Talking Shipa video. Thanks, Bruno.
No, thank you, Jim. Thank you, folks.